How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Guys, hold on. We can't. Just give me 1 second. I just got a text from Chase. Not that I bank with Chase. Saying that there's a security issue at Chase.
You don't bank with Chase?
I bank with Chase.
It's a text or an email?
No, it's text.
Text.
Is it actually from Chase?
Just give me a second. I got to look at all right, take a breath. I'm going to do what we do.
Are you getting smished?
Stop breathing at him with like the guy from Friday the 13th.
Well, you told me to take a breath.
No. That's take a breath. Not, okay, this was a smishing. I did not get hacked just now because I did not click the link because my first thought was I better go to the source because I don't want remorse. And I went to the app and there was no note from them saying, the sky is falling.
But Beau, if you did click it, they'd probably prompt you for a password, right?
Yep, 100%.
And this is a good example of why you need strong password security. And if that's a heavy lift for you, just use a password manager.
Yeah, I do. And I still almost clicked on the link.
And this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So welcome to What the Hack, a show about hackers, scammers, and the people they go after. I'm Adam, cyber chef.
I'm Beau, cyber tool to remove frets from a guitar neck.
And I'm Travis, cyber chaiwala.
Huh?
Slumdog Millionaire. It's the guy who brings you tea.
Nice. And today we welcome back comedian Dan Ahdoot to talk about why we don't use the security tools we know will help us, even after we've been hacked. Dan, welcome back.
It's good to be back. I gotta say, I've been thinking about you guys a lot. I have a lot to talk about, but thank you for having me back.
Anyway, Dan, where are you coming to us from?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
So nothing's changed. Okay.
No,
Okay.
Nothing has changed, but there is something very new, and that is Dan. Dan has written a book, and we're going to talk to him about cyber stuff later, but we're definitely going to talk to him about his book called Undercooked: How I Let Food Become My Life Navigator, and how maybe that's a dumb way to live.
Yes.
Huh.
Take it in.
I'm taking it in because I'm wondering, why is it a dumb way to live? I mean, I don't know. Dan, my latest thing is kamut. Are you familiar with kamut?
No.
Kamut is an ancient grain, and I am now a person who has a lot to do with ancient grains, as Travis can say, because I converted him to Pharaoh.
Yep. 100%.
Pharaoh I'm familiar with. Kamut sounds like a Canadian LGBTQ kind of, hey, it's March. It's time to kamut of the closet.
Sorry, that was terrible, but that was funny.
No, I'm not familiar with kamut. I am very familiar with farro. Farro is a very interesting grain. The Roman legions were basically fueled on farro. So
yeah, no, farro is some good stuff. Kamut is an ancient grain, and it's pretty tasty. It takes about 8 days to cook, which is probably why it's not used so much. But it's definitely like a hack along, the lines of what can I cook that takes the most amount of time and tastes the strangest? Because it has a very odd taste. It tastes somewhere between a bean and rice and fruit.
Why does it take 8 days to cook?
It actually only takes 8 hours in a slow cooker.
8 hours. Wow. No, I'm not familiar with kamut.
And you can puff it. And then it makes very good cereal.
So you see, how much time do you think Beau is wasting on this commute instead of spending time on himself, on his family? That's why it's a dumb way to live.
Okay, so Dan, we're talking about password managers today.
Yeah. So last time you were here, you talked about your Twitter account getting hacked by a little kid.
Yeah, long story short, one day my friend texted me, he said, "I think you've been hacked." And I went onto my Twitter and it was just spitting out these song lyrics every 5 seconds, like bad song lyrics too. It was
Yes ones, right? Yeah, Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah, Owner of a Lonely Heart. And which actually is a good one. Bop was one of them as well. and and then I saw that I couldn't get into my Twitter account. I was locked out. I contacted Twitter and they were like, someone's going to get back to you within 5 and 7 days. Meanwhile, I'm like hemorrhaging followers. And ultimately, I get a call from an unknown number thinking it's Twitter, and it was my hacker. And my hacker called me to extort me. And was like, how much money do you want for my account? And he's like, let me look at it. Let me see how many followers you got, this and that. And I think he wanted like $300 for the account, which was so insulting to me. I was like, that's all I'm worth? $300? So anyway, eventually we negotiated it down, and he realized by looking at my Instagram account where he was actually doing what you guys do. He was like looking at all my other accounts at this point to see like if everything else was hackable or safe, and trying to give me best practices. And he saw on my Instagram that I posted a picture of my it was a throwback Thursday picture of my character Falafel Phil that I played on the Disney show Kicking It.
Now, I have a question for you, which is just, I have a feeling I have been exposed to your Disney character unwittingly through my children.
Okay, first of all, you say exposed like, you met my Disney character in a back alley and I was wearing a long trench coat and I exposed myself to you.
No, I meant more sort of like an earworm that I'll recognize immediately once I hear it.
Got it.
What did your character sound like? What kind of things did he say?
Well, if it sounded anything like this, then you would know who the character is. It is me, Falafel Phil.
Oh, I do recognize that voice.
Yeah.
So what was Falafel Phil's run? How long? When was it?
It was like 10 years ago. Went for about 4 years. Falafel Phil made waves, baby.
I told my children that I spoke to Falafel Phil, and they both were like, "What?"
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. My goal is to make you guys cool to your kids. That's the only reason I'm here.
Well, they had the same reaction that Hacker Tom had.
Good.
Yeah.
He was an enormous fan of this show and of my character, and he couldn't believe that I was the guy who he hacked. And I was like, "Can I get my money back?" And he was like, "No, but I'm going to be I'll be your internet security guy, so no one can mess with you anymore." And so I hired him for a while to be my muscle.
Nice.
And
until he disappeared.
Yeah, he just vanished. I mean, he had like a Google number set up. He told me he wouldn't give me his real name. He said his name was Hacker Tom. So I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know where he's gone. I don't know what he's up to. I hope he's okay. I also hope he's gotten hacked. That would make me really happy.
Maybe the NSA hired him.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, that's how I came across you guys.
And we gave you some homework, namely to set up a password manager instead of reusing the same few passwords on every platform.
I have since not taken any of your advice, and I've just lost money paying for a service that I'm not using. But
in case our listeners need a refresh on what a password manager is, it's an app or a tool that helps you generate, store, and manage passwords. So instead of having to remember multiple passwords or use weak or easily guessable passwords, you only need to remember one master password.
yes.
Right. So in other words, we know it's good to use unique passwords for every single account you have online, but at the same time, it is really difficult to remember 20, 30, or 100 unique, difficult passwords.
instead of just reusing passwords, use a password manager. It's almost as easy.
I will say, and Travis, I was almost not going to do the podcast because of this, because I'm ashamed. After we got off the last time, I ended up buying the password protection, service that you recommended to me, and I pay for it, and I've never used it, not once. The thing is this. Hold on. In my defense, it gets very confusing now because with my new MacBook Air now, they want my fingerprint. So I put my fingerprint on, to unlock stuff. And then also I have my Chrome browser and I have the Safari browser. Also, Elon Musk took away my two-step verification with Twitter because I'm not a paying Twitter Blue person. So I'm a little nervous. I'm getting back to my nervousness. And I'm curious, has anything changed in the landscape since the last time we spoke that I don't need one of those password verification services? Is the new fingerprint thing on the MacBook Air enough to not need that? Does that not cover everything? Because I don't think I can use a fingerprint for Twitter. I'm not sure. You tell me.
Well, I mean, with the fingerprint verification, that's something that is good for that one device, but not every account.
Right.
So in the same way before you had some kid being able to take over your Twitter account just by using your password. So having a fingerprint, any kind of biometric verification, that'll protect your device, but not your accounts. Since then, there have been a couple of high-profile hacks, though, of at least one major password manager service.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be just in case you missed it. That would be LastPass.
Mm-hmm.
But the argument is that the level of encryption was so high that it would be impossible for the hackers to get their hands on your passwords.
Exactly.
However, did they get the source code by any chance when they hacked?
It looked like it was pretty much soup to nuts in terms of the hack of LastPass. That was they got it seems like everything. So it was encrypted, but it's still not great.
So is there a lawsuit from people who've spent money for that service? Are they suing?
I'm sure it's coming. Yeah.
So what about the one that you recommended for me, which I know for some reason you didn't want to mention the name on the air, but the one that you recommended for me, is that one still okay?
Yes. Yep.
It is. Okay.
Come on, name it.
I mean, I think it was 1Password1 or something.
Yeah. It was 1Password. Yep.
1Password. So, okay.
Travis just isn't giving out free ads.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get it.
Well, also, if they get hacked tomorrow, then I'm going to look like a right jackass. So it's gonna...
No, it just looks like you're a member of the human race.
I was going to say, I'm a LastPass now completely. I had to change everything. I went in and changed all of my passwords after that happened.
Okay, can you guys tell me, I like actionable steps. Tell me the first thing that I should be doing. I have this 1Password thing. I'm paying money for it. I haven't canceled it, and I think a couple days ago it just came up again of we're gonna re-up your membership for a year, and I was planning on canceling it, but then I was like, let me talk to the guys first and see what they say.
The first thing I would do, Dan, is set it up, and that means making sure that you have a long and strong password, master password for that service, and that you put it somewhere safe. And then I think you need to spend an hour and just make sure all your financial accounts, nothing else, just your financial accounts are done.
Okay.
And then in a week or so, come back and do some other kind of thing. Because you'll see in the app, if it's anything like LastPass, there'll be different categories. So you can do entertainment, you can do finance, you can do whatever it is you do.
Retail.
Okay, so let's say, how does it work? I create this new password, the master password, and let's say I want to, I have to change an existing password. So I go into, let's say, Twitter, and I say I want to change my password, and it says, okay, type in your old password. Now type in your new password. What am I typing in the new password when you use these services?
So when you're creating an account or changing your password or updating it or anything like that, if you have a password manager installed, it will give you a prompt to generate a new password. And so it'll make one that's long and complex, pretty much unguessable.
Each of these password managers is a little different, but they all do the same thing.
Oh, I see.
And then what you do is that you tattoo the master password to the inside of your eyelid, so you'll never forget it.
Yeah. Okay. So
But
then,
also change it from time to time. I actually, Travis disagrees, and I know that he disagrees because he's right and I'm wrong. But right, Travis, there's an argument against changing certain passwords often, correct?
The argument is more that if you're being told that you need to change your password like once every month or 3 months or so, because what that ends up meaning is that the number of people out there that say like, I don't know what my password is, I need to hit reset. And then they're going to have to go through that entire process, which can be really easily replicated through a phishing campaign.
Oh, I got you. So anyone can get in touch and be like, hey, it's time to reset your password.
Exactly. Yep.
No, then there's the other argument too, that people, when you change your password, if you're not using a password manager, you could tend to fall into this sounds like a great password, which just happened to have been a password you used 5 years ago on another site that was hacked.
Mm-hmm.
So
it also provides a pattern. If I were to say like my password is Sparky123, then it's telling me to change my password. My password is not Sparky123. But if it tells you to change your password, then you say Sparky456. And then if 2 of those happen to get breached and someone says, I'm guessing it might be 789 right now.
so tell me why it's different. Let's say I have my Twitter hacker again. Okay. What would be different if he tried to get in and I had one of my password manager passwords instead of what I have now, which is Sparky123?
The main thing about it is that he would not be able to guess your password. So if your password was breached anywhere else on a different account that you were reusing it, that it would not be effective on your Twitter account. So with password managers, they'll usually have something that's really long and incomprehensible. 17Z5 exclamation point hash, whatever.
That is his password.
Yeah. But yeah, he would not be able to guess that. So if you were to have your password compromised on one account, he would not be able to take that same password and apply it to your Twitter account.
Okay, remember Have I Been Pwned, Dan? We went to the Have I Been Pwned site with you. And
Oh,
you
yes.
typed in, And all of those things popped up, right? So the big difference is, think of it in those terms. So there's a difference between a password being discovered and a password being discoverable.
Mm-hmm.
You're now entering into an undiscoverable mode, in theory anyway, unless they get hacked. So the thing that a password manager will do is it'll look and see if any of your passwords are guessable, and it'll suggest, hey, Dan, maybe change this one. This one's a little too easy.
Right.
And you go through that process, and after, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years, you will have all your passwords really secure. You don't have to do it overnight. The ones you have to do overnight are the ones where you can actually get hurt. And for you, that's social media and finance.
Right. Okay. And then so the plugins that you use, are they on your phone as well, or they're just desktop?
multi-platform.
So the same company is releasing software that has an app version that lives on your phone, and then there's a web version, but they both use the same password, same credentials. And you can set the one on your phone if you're using a phone with biometric recognition, like facial recognition, to just open when you look at it. Every once in a while, it'll ask for the main password. And that actually, I think, is probably in the settings too, right, Travis?
Yep.
So you can even tell it not to do that. But so in other words, you can ride dirty, or you can, or you can keep it.
As long as you're not two-faced, that can work.
Ouch. I'm not even going to indulge you in
Let's
that one.
just
Adam.
let it sit there. Just let it sit.
Wow.
Confetti for a 100th dad joke in the last half hour. But, yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtual Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to help you make the most of your summer with Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for. Play for it with the guys when you're competing to see who can sink more birdies on the golf course, because winning tastes even better with Ultra on the line. Play for Ultra. Fill your fridge with Michelob Ultra this summer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dan, so let's go back for a sec. And that is, you haven't used it. You paid for it. This might be instructive for a lot of people. What stopped you from doing it up to now?
You know, I honestly, it's just an old dog set in his ways, and it's learning a new thing. I feel like, especially with technology, I need someone to hold my hand. I need a Mac. You know, it's all Apple's fault, because they got us used to these freaking Mac geniuses who hold your hand and are dressed all hip and they're nice and they're cool. But then when I'm on my own, when I'm going rogue, man, I don't know. I don't have much of a bandwidth for that. What you guys need to do is someone needs to have a service where you pay a nerd for an hour to be on Zoom and walk you through what you got to do.
Isn't that called Geek Squad?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's Geek Squad does it, but you have something more personalized than Geek Squad.
What's that?
You have 1-800-TRAVIS.
Indeed.
I mean, yeah, but that sounds so like, if I'm like, Travis, hey, can you please put a half hour of your day aside for me? I feel bad asking him, unless there's some sort of compensation I can give you. Does anyone in your family want watch Cobra Kai? I can do a personalized Cobra Kai happy birthday message.
That would probably make my daughter's day, actually. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Right.
Now you see, now we got a little quid
we
pro
go.
quo.
But I think the thing that you're talking about, though, it does illustrate sort of a need that, yeah, places like Apple or Geek Squad or whatever, they've taken a lot of the sharp corners off of the internet. But at the same time, there's a bit of technical know-how that can be required just to make sure you're as secure as possible. And for a lot of people, that's just inconvenient.
Yeah.
Well, what technical things are you talking about?
Managing passwords across multiple accounts without using the same password. That is in and of itself. It sounds simple, but at the same time, that's complicated. Most people have over 100 accounts online at this point.
Yeah, but with the password manager, it just does it. It kind of does the Apple Genius thing for you and makes that happen so much in a streamlined way, so long as they don't get hacked and everything gets released to a bad guy.
I think the other issue is that there's so many options. There's the fingerprint. There's the face recognition. When I'm on Chrome, it says, do you want us to recommend a password? But that password's not going to work on Safari. Same with Safari. Do we want us to recommend a password?
Mm-hmm.
So you lose track of who's recommending what and what's with the finger and what's with the face. And it just gets a little overwhelming. And every company is trying to do their own password, way to manage your password, which is, again, why we got into this conversation in the first place, because you said there are these companies that will manage the whole thing for you.
Well, but the thing, Dan, is that, usually in security, and there's jokes about this in various movies and cartoons going back even 10 years now, there's more than one way of authenticating yourself. So there's, in the Mission Impossible made it look like it was, sort of beyond, but it's all real now. There's something you have, which is maybe a fob. There's something which is a password, and there's something you are, which which is a handprint or an eye print or something. And then can be combinations, like in Mission Impossible, where you stand on a plate that weighs you while it looks at your retina and touches your hand, and then you know password, and it knows 3 other things, and it'll let you in based on the temperature of your skin. So we're not living in a world, thank God, where we need all those things just to log into Twitter.
Yeah, especially so now I don't get the 2-factor verification on Twitter. That's a dangerous thing for me.
That is.
They disabled 2-factor authentication through SMS, but you can still do that through an application, like an authenticator app.
Now, do I need to get that, or is that all included in my 1Password thing?
No, that's something completely separate, unfortunately.
Although I will say that some companies that have password managers, such as LastPass, do offer an authenticator as well. And so, you can, I wouldn't be surprised if 1Pass doesn't have an authenticator app.
And then is that like an extra, they'll charge you another $1 a month for it type thing?
No, because you're already paying whatever you're paying. Mine comes bundled with, and I don't use it. And I don't use it because I find it to be cumbersome. And I have a lot of faith in LastPass, actually, but perhaps ill-placed, but I do. But the way that I manage the authenticators with some Google interfaces, they just don't work otherwise, and it's just a lot easier to use an authenticator. Google has a great authenticator that you can use.
It does, yeah. I use that one pretty frequently.
Oh, they do? And do they charge you for it, or it's within the Gmail family?
It's free.
Why would they charge when they have all the access to see what you're doing?
Right.
But it's tough. I mean, you're right. Every company has their own version. Every platform has a slightly different way of doing this. And unfortunately, sometimes they don't always play nice together.
I wonder, like the one thing that you just said, is there this I don't know, gold standard for doing it? 2-factor authentication is the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, now you have to pay for this. When does it end?
I'm curious, why are you not paying for your blue check? Same reason I'm not?
I mean, philosophically, I have a problem with it. It's like, It's like I am a public figure. People follow me because of that. I'm giving your platform more eyeballs or whatever. I'm giving you my content for free. Yeah. At the very least, I feel like I should be getting a little bit of a status bump and not having to pay for it. And now that everyone's paying for it, it's not special anymore. It's just stupid.
Not only that, but they can fake being you, for example.
If he said, you're getting this because you're famous and because you're a public figure, but I'm going to need $5 a month for it, that I would do. But the fact that he's saying anyone can get it for $5 a month, then I am not understanding what's special about it. It's just a dumb blue check mark now.
We live in a world where people can fake who they are constantly. So he's decided that that's worth some money.
Yeah.
He knows that, I am not famous or a public figure, but I want to make sure that, no one pretends they're me online. That can happen, and it might be a worry I have, and that worry might be significant enough that I'm willing to pay to protect myself from it. That's what he's thinking. And so everyone has to provide a license and, some other form of identity, which is absurd if you think about sending all that stuff online over, where anyone can grab it. It's dumb. But also, if you're like me, Beau Friedlander, that's not my legal name. So my ID doesn't match everything that's outward facing. So I couldn't get verified if I wanted to do it now.
And if you want to send us $8 a month, Travis and I are happy to give up Beau's actual name.
$7 a month if you pay a year in advance.
My middle name is Brunhilde.
This Twitter thing is ass backwards. We keep saying privacy needs to be built in, not opt in. I don't think this is going to have the effect that Musk thinks it's going to have.
I think he was saying, though, because I followed a little bit of the back and forth, that parody accounts are still not going to be tolerated, or people taking your identity is not going to be tolerated. So I don't know that someone else could be a verified Dan Ahdoot if it's not me. But or maybe that's what's going to happen is I'm going to have to pay for it to ensure against that.
Almost overnight, there were scam accounts that popped up. Like there was one that claimed to be Nintendo that had the check mark next to it that had Mario doing something rather rude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But this shows how screwed up things are because, for instance, privacy should be the default setting as opposed to something you have to pay for. And now you've got a situation where the blue check mark is something that should be earned and you shouldn't have to pay for it. And with people paying for it, despite what he's saying about no parody accounts will be accepted, the bottom line is he doesn't know. They don't know.
Right. I still have my blue check mark. It looks like they haven't taken them away yet.
I still have mine too. They're waiting to see if you're going to buy it, I think.
Yeah.
But the New York Times isn't doing it. I mean, there are a lot of places are like, sorry.
I saw that, yeah.
Nope, not doing it.
LeBron James isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and look, I'm not a knee-jerk anti-Elon Musk guy, but this move was just like, and by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Instagram doing this as well with their blue check mark?
Meta said that they're going to be doing something similar. I think they're probably waiting to see how the whole Twitter thing ends up working.
Everybody waits to see the first. If somebody jumps and some site is making money off it, the other guys will jump into.
Yeah.
Well, Meta is definitely offering me a verified something these days. And I believe it's for, I don't remember if they just want to see my ID. And I was like, oh, that's not going to work. Or if they wanted money. But I saw that they wanted to verify me. And I think they're offering it to everybody if they're offering it to me.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. That was the only thing that gave my life meaning was my 2 blue check marks. And now they're all just being diluted by the commoners.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite, I have to say, Dan, there's something cool about not having one. My favorite street photographer, I think he's got like 300,000 followers. He's been on this show. His name is Daniel Ahdoot. He doesn't have a blue check. Still doesn't. Like at 300,000 followers.
So for some, it's a badge of honor. Yeah.
Something cool about now it's going to be a badge of honor to not have one, and it's going to look weird if you do. That's my guess.
Right.
It's based on the theory you'd never become a member of a club that would have you. Dan, my friend, this is your second time on the show. Have we convinced you enough why you actually need to use your password manager and not just pay for it?
I will use it now. I promise. Travis and I are going to put our minds together. I'm going to meet his daughter over Zoom, and we can get some of my passwords, or at least set up this. I think once I get it up and running, it's like going to the gym when you want to start a workout. You go the first day, and then you're set. I just need to put my sneakers on and go to the gym for the first day.
Well, listen, the other nice thing is that Travis will not ghost you like Hacker Tom.
I will not.
So before you go, we're all hack guys here, and you're a food guy. Any food hacks you want to share with us?
Look, actually, my latest hack that everyone is getting onto is, how do I return food at a restaurant and not look like a jerk? And my new move is, if I get a dish, now, mind you, if you get a dish that's prepared incorrectly, that's an easy return. You should not feel bad about returning that. But if you get a dish that you just don't like, but it was prepared correctly, now you're in a little bit of a predicament. But what I normally do is I say, look, this dish is fine. It was prepared the way it's supposed to be prepared. I'm not enjoying it though. I'm willing to pay for it, but do you mind just taking it away? And I'm going to order something else. And then they'll say, would you like it to go? And you say, no, that's fine. That's fine. And 10 times out of 10, they're not going to charge you for it. And you don't look like the jerk. who said, just take back this food that I don't like just because I don't like it.
Last night, I had a tuna melt at a diner because I was tired. And the tuna
I
melt,
love tuna melt.
the tuna melt came back at with unmelted cheese.
What?
It came to me.
Ew.
It was a grilled. It was a grilled sandwich, but it hadn't been grilled long enough, so the cheese was not really melted. It was just wilted. I didn't ask for a tuna wilt. I asked for a tuna melt, and I did not ask her to bring it back though.
Why?
I
Why
just
not?
ate it. I just have this fear of them like doing something weird to it if I send it back.
You think she's gonna spit on in your tuna melt?
That is a risk at diners.
I don't think so.
I have a fear. I have a fear that they're going to do something weird to it. What do you think?
I will tell you, as someone who has a food podcast and has had many servers on my podcast, 99% of them want you to have the best experience you can have. That's their goal. They want you to have a good time. They want you to enjoy your meal. I don't care if it's at a Denny's or a 3-star Michelin restaurant.
So they're not going to do anything weird to it.
No, they never will. I mean, and so I think that especially something like that where it was prepared incorrectly. That's an easy, hey, I'm sorry. I really like my cheese, solidly melted on my tuna melt. Do you mind zapping it or doing whatever you guys can do? Oh, 100%. They would be the ones that felt bad that the cheese wasn't melted.
I mean, think of it in terms of a baseball game. Somebody takes a bat, swings at the ball, swings only halfway, does not get over the fence. You have to follow through. Melting grilled cheese to the point where it really creates a tuna melt, that's the follow-through swing.
Yeah, I mean it's in the freaking name. It's tuna melt. It's in the
Correct.
name.
Yeah.
No, I was disappointed. I literally all day long while I was working hard around the house thought I'm going to have a tuna melt for dinner I'm not going to say the name of the diner because I like the diner, the Orams Diner. And they just messed it up. Anyway, so that affected my mood negatively. Tell me about a positive outcome I can have through food.
I mean, look, I love food. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge foodie. Food is delicious. I love going to restaurants, all that stuff. But I felt like for a couple decades of my life, it was what gave my life meaning, was being in the scene and knowing the cool places. And, I dated only chefs and people who are food people. And it ended up being a pretty empty way to live, but it created some very, very funny stories. And my book is basically a lot of standalone chapters that are kind of like short stories about my life with food. And I'm striving to be the David Sedaris of food. So that's what I go for in this book.
For those of us who turn to food at moments of desperate need for comfort in the middle of the night, like I'm a peanut butter fanatic.
Okay.
I once woke up in the morning with a peanut butter jar that looked like it had been power washed from the inside. Okay, so how can you help me hack my peanut butter at night and help me conquer my sleep eating issues? Because I need some help there.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Eat your peanut butter. I don't really care.
So Undercooked is published by Crown Publishers, and it is just out and available wherever you buy books, and even some places where you don't usually think of buying books.
An Amazon bestseller.
Yes, please get it. Tell me what you think. Post about it. I will repost you. And I still have my blue check mark on Instagram, so my reposts carry a lot of weight.
Dan, we can't thank you enough for spending time with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. We're never going to forget a couple things. We learned a couple things that we're never going to forget. One is that grain, which I've already forgotten the name of.
Kamut.
Your new password, Kamut.
Kamut to the closet. That's right. Kamut. 2 is my new password, Sparky123. Thank you for having me, guys. This was delightful. I look forward to Travis and I having our one-on-one session Travis, how should we schedule this offline?
Yeah, sure. I think you have my
Yeah.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Okay, so now it's time for the tinfoil swan, Adam.
Our paranoid takeaway to help keep you safe online.
So what do you have for us this week, Travis?
Well, in the spirit of how a lot of what we talk about is ultimately a lot easier said than done, I thought we'd just do something pretty simple this week.
Cool. So we're going to talk about Star Trek.
Damn it, Star Wars.
Maybe quantum engineering?
Bluetooth.
Just in general, or?
No, more specifically, just disabling Bluetooth when you're not using it, especially if it's on your phone.
I mean, my favorite thing about Bluetooth is it's actually like some sort of character, some Viking dude, and that's a rune. I don't know. Anyway. Who cares if your Bluetooth is on, Travis? Give it a rest. Come on.
Yeah, it was actually apparently named after a Viking that loved to eat blueberries.
Ah, see, Bluetooth. Gotcha. So, but why is this an issue?
Well, I mean, the whole point of Bluetooth and the convenience of it is that it allows your device, if it's a phone or a laptop or whatever, just to be able to connect to nearby devices and to be connected to.
So that's like being able to take a phone call on your car's built-in system or to AirPods?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what that means is that your device is both visible and it's discoverable by other devices.
Yeah, that's true. And so I know personally, just riding on the train, every once in a while someone will try to airdrop a photo to me on a commuter train. It really creeps me out, and then I'm wondering the rest of the ride who it was. But have people been hacked by Bluetooth a lot, Travis?
Not a lot, but it is a thing. It's called bluejacking, so it's not super common.
But I get it. But it's definitely part of our attackable surface. It's an avenue for attack.
Right.
So the advice here is just to disable Bluetooth when you're not using it, right?
100% that's what I'm hearing anyway. I mean, Bluetooth is convenient. I get that. But when you leave it on all the time, it's just providing cyber criminals with another way to get you. That said, I find it a little annoying to remember, and I do forget from time to time.
So probably a smart move is to change the name of what your Bluetooth is.
Yeah. I mean, mine says my legal name, so I'm actually have like a weird level of protection there. And I think Travis's says Mr. Stinky.
No, it's Wu-Tang members.
Oh, Wu-Tang members.
Beau, I thought yours was Mr. Boo Boo.
So I mean, but in all seriousness, I have 2 daughters, and this is a way for people to figure out, some basics around you. Because remember, you can be in a crowded train, for example, and the criminal, if he's decided that, maybe he's looking for some young woman, they're already looking at that young woman, and then they just yell out, "Hey, Sally!" Whoever looks up, bang, you got their device.
Right. Any type of form of communication, if it's Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, anything like that, with every single thing you have enabled, that just allows more avenues for a hacker to get into your device.
Because the biggest problem is that if there's a way in, a hacker can win.
Well, I like it.
Anyway, that's our tinfoil swan this week. Thank you, Travis, for making me paranoid about something else.
Oh, you're still just a naive, fluffy little buddy.
What the Hack with Adam Levin is a production of Loud Tree Media, produced by Andrew Stephen and Travis Taylor. Our executive producers are Beau Friedlander and Adam Levin. That's me. You can find us online at adamlevin.com and Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Adam K. Levin. Come back next week.
And rate and review. It really helps people find the show.
Behind every great meal is a person with a story to tell. Hear them on Culinary Characters Unlocked, the podcast that reveals the lives behind the food. Hosted by me, David Page, Emmy Award-winning journalist and creator of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, as I talk with everyone from culinary legends to mom-and-pop standouts about the creativity, grit, and passion that shape the food we love. Follow Culinary Characters Unlocked on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Behind every empire are the people history tried to forget. Lost Roman Heroes tells the stories of the remarkable characters who shaped Rome from its mythical beginnings to its final fall.
Each episode blends armchair storytelling, sharp historical insight, and a bit of humor to bring these lost figures to life. From generals to scientists, from rebels to empresses, from priests to politicians, these lost Roman heroes have one thing in common.
They stood up for civilization when the bad guys threatened, and in doing so, they changed the course of human history. If you're into history that's vivid, surprising, and deeply human, this show's for you.